Hello guys and welcome back to the Submission Addiction. In today's video I will be predicting the main card only of UFC Atlanta. The Nigerian Nightmare Kamaru Usman going up against new Mansa Joaquin Buckley. And let's just get straight into it. Coming up first we have Alonzo Menifield defending his number 15 ranking against Umar Sy or Umar Sy or what you want to call him. Alonzo Menifield is by far the worst light heavyweight in the rankings, in my opinion. He is sloppy, he's slow, he's getting old. And Umar Sy is undefeated, 11-0, good prospect, tall for the division. Very, really big for the division actually. 6'4", 83 inch reach. And Umar Sy is the huge favorite in this fight. I also favor him as a winner. I don't think that the odds is rightful. I think that Alonzo Menifield is not as big as of an underdog as he is in the odds. However, I can't pick Alonzo Menifield in this fight. I am going to pick Umar Sy. He is so much bigger. He is so much, I wouldn't say more athletic, but he's faster. He doesn't have that great cardio, but he has great power, just like Alonzo Menifield. But I think that the youth, the mental kind of state of like, I am undefeated, this is my shot at the rankings, I think that will overwhelm Alonzo Menifield in this fight. Next up, Mansour Abdul Malik going up against Cody Brundage. I'm sorry, I'm fucking these names up today. Once again, we have a big for the division, undefeated prospect going up against, I don't want to call him, Alonzo Menifield for a journeyman, but Cody Brundage is definitely a journeyman. The safest bet in this fight is just the fight doesn't go the distance. I am very much favoring Mansour Abdul Malik to get the knockout against Cody Brundage. We have seen Cody Brundage quit in fights, by tapping to strikes, and Mansour Abdul Malik, just like Umar Sy, is more athletic. He is younger. He is more talented. He's just better everywhere this fight goes. I think Cody Brundage is one of these guys that, he's a quitter. He just got a knockout against Julian Marquez, but Julian Marquez isn't a great fighter either. So Mansour Abdul Malik, the youth, the undefeated aura, is gonna be too much for Cody Brundage, and he will quit in this fight, I believe. Alright, Cody Garbrandt against Raoni Barcelos. This is a weird fight actually, because I was leaning towards against Cody Garbrandt going into this fight. Then I saw him at the scales. I think he looked a bit more like, chubby. He didn't look as sharp as he used to, and he came in with sunglasses. And sunglasses at a weigh-in is seldom a good sign. Raoni Barcelos is 38 and could definitely get caught by a hook by the hands of Cody Garbrandt. If I were to bet on this fight, I would probably pick Raoni Barcelos, and probably by decision. I think that Barcelos is a very good grappler. He showed that against Peyton Talbot. Probably, maybe even as good grappling as Davison Figueiredo, and he subbed Cody Garbrandt, at UFC 300. This is the first time we've seen Garbrandt ever since. Has he got better? No, I don't think so. As I said, I think he looked more. He didn't look as great on the weigh-ins. as he used to. Sunglasses didn't look as sharp, didn't look as muscular. So he could definitely land the KO shot, but I'm picking Raoni Barcelos by decision in this one. Alright. Edmen Shahbazyan, the golden boy, against Andre Petroski. And this is an interesting one because I was thinking about picking Andre Petroski by decision or by a late TKO. He has a lot better cardio than Edmen Shahbazyan, but again, who doesn't? And he's on a 3-fight win streak. I do believe that he lost his last fight against what's his name? I can't really remember his name. Shit. Alright. But I think he got the robbery last time out. But he looked decent. Edmen Shahbazyan is like a kill or be killed type of fighter. Not that he is like the most violent fighter, but the fact that his cardio is so bad that he is either gonna knock you out or get so tired that he can't win is like his style. I remember that Andre Petroski was the guy to get KO'd by Jacob Malkoun's hip, and when I thought of that, I couldn't see Andre Petroski win this fight. Edmen Shahbazyan, as bad cardio as he has, he is a great striker. He has a lot of power, a lot of speed in the first round, and I gotta pick Edmen Shahbazyan by first round KO in this one. If it doesn't happen, if this fight goes into the second and third round, don't be surprised if Andre Petroski, mauls Edmen Shahbazyan with the wrestling in the later rounds. Possibly even getting the TKO. Alright. Rose Namajunas against Miranda Maverick. Another one of these, fights, these women's MMA fights where we don't really give a fuck. And it's not because we don't give a fuck, it's because we are, these fights, we're just expecting them to go to the decision every single fucking time. Because, let's be honest, Rose and Miranda, they are two decision merchants. And some hardcore fans will say that Rose actually got the knockout against Zhang Weili. Yeah, she beat Zhang Weili, and that win is absolutely fantastic. But then you look at her title defense against Carla Esparza, which was one of the worst fights in UFC history. Go back and watch that if you don't believe me when I say that Rose Namajunas has a boring style. Especially since she's moved up to flyweight from strawweight, I think that I think she's undersized. I do really think that she is undersized for this division. You look at her fight against Manon Fiorot. It's not, Fiorot won that fight by decision. Rose looked like someone who was just a bit outclassed, but also outsized. Miranda Maverick, I don't have a huge, I don't believe in her, to be honest. She's a decent fighter, but she tends to, she's a decent fighter. She's decent. She has good takedown entries, good takedowns, and that's pretty much it, She is athletic, and that's why she is ranked in women's MMA. That's really it. She's a decent wrestler, and that's it. Other than that, she has pretty much nothing, if you ask me, to offer in a fight against Rose Namajunas, who maybe is undersized for the division, but still has that experience and that skill in every other area of the MMA aspect. And therefore, I have to pick Rose Namajunas by decision in this one. And again, a decision. The safe bet in this fight is to just, say that this fight goes the distance, as with a lot of women's MMA fights. But yeah, Rose, I don't think she has the power in this division to knock Miranda Maverick out. And Miranda Maverick, she is not a someone who gets the submission once she gets down to the ground. Alright, moving on to the main event, and this is the big one, if you ask me. This main event is really the best thing about this card, of course, as a main event should be, but it almost every time isn't. In UFC 2025, the main event is pretty mediocre. This is a great fight. Kamaru Usman, the Nigerian Nightmare. He's coming off a big layoff since, I believe it was like September or October 2023, where he had that, and I'm gonna call it a draw against Hamza Chimaev, because he lost the first round 10-8, but then I think that he won rounds 2 and 3 10-9, which is a draw. Joaquin Buckley. And how do I describe this? He is the most improved fighter these last couple of years in the UFC. He went from someone, and I saw him fight at middleweight, I saw him have his first fight or two at welterweight, and I thought, this guy will never be ranked, and especially not even get into the top 10. And now I think that he could get a title shot and maybe even become a champion one day. Joaquin Buckley really has evolved. He is a great fighter. He reminds me a bit of Usman. He has more of an extraordinary style, whereas Kamaru Usman is more like a basic guy who has just, taking the basics to another level. If this was prime Usman, I would probably I would pick him in a very competitive fight. This is not prime Usman, let me tell you guys. He looked good more than 1.5 years ago against Hamza Chimaev, but 1.5 years is a lot of time when you already aren't in your prime. Joaquin Buckley, he's a guy. I saw his the video that Full Violence did with him, where they trained with him, and he says that he manifests everything. He writes everything down, and he says that he will knock out Kamaru Usman. And as much as I like Kamaru Usman, and as much as I think that Usman was great for the welterweight division, and as much as I miss the good old Usman title reign, I do believe that Joaquin Buckley has the tools and the physicality to outmatch an older Usman in this one. I'm gonna say Joaquin Buckley by knockout in the 3rd round. It will take some time. Kamaru Usman, don't underestimate him. He's an fantastic fighter. He's a legendary fighter, of course, for a reason. But Joaquin Buckley, he's just 6, 7, 8 years younger. He's a bit like a younger version of Usman. They look somewhat similar. And yeah, so those are my predictions. I think I went with all the favorites in this main card, but sometimes that's just how it is. I think they're favorites for a reason. But yeah, that's it for me for today, guys. Remember to subscribe to the Submission Addiction and like this video and comment your predictions or your reactions after the event. I'm sorry this video came out a bit late, but that's just the way it is sometimes. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.